I recently traveled to Tulum, Mexico and got a lot of questions asking about my trip, where I ate, what I did, where I stayed. So I decided to make this video to answer all your questions, so keep on watching. So this was actually my very first time to Mexico, so by no means am I an expert on Mexico, but this is just some of the stuff that I learned that I wanted to share with you guys to make your trip easier while planning, and maybe some helpful tips that you guys can include in your future trip to Tulum. So let's get started. First things first, you gotta know what currency to use. In Mexico, they use what's called the Mexican peso. They do also accept American, so USD, and some places do accept euros as well. But your best bet is to take out majority of the spending cash that you're going to be using in Mexican pesos. And then I also took out about $30, $40 American in dollar bills just to use as tips. Because if you do take out an American and you're spending in American, they're gonna give you it back in pesos anyway. So it didn't really make sense for me anyway to take out all American money and be using that to spend with when I'm getting Mexican pesos back. There are lots of currency exchange places as well along the strip in Tulum town, so if you are in need of exchanging your money while you are there, you do have the option to. When you are going to Tulum, you fly into Cancun. So we flew from Toronto to Cancun, and then from Cancun it's about an hour-and-a-half drive to Tulum. We use this shuttle service called Canada Transfers to book our shuttle. So the shuttle actually came out to about $130 Canadian, split between 8 people. So per person it was only about $16 and change. And then also in our shuttle it included beers, and other drinks that you could get, like this margarita drink for $1 extra. So it depends on how many you get, but you can also add that into your package. On our way back when we went, because we flew different times from everybody else, we had to take a cab ourselves, myself and Andrew. So it actually cost quite a bit. The cab for the two of us on our way from the hotel to the airport, it came out to about $100 American, which was like, yikes. To be honest, it was just poorly executed on our part. We should have had it booked in advance, but it was a last minute booking, so we just kind of had to take it because we needed to get to the airport so we could go home. So my advice to you is make sure your shuttles to and from the airport and hotel are booked in advance. You'll save yourself a lot of money that way. If you look on Expedia, I did see some shuttle services that were about $80 Canadian on there to and from, so you just kind of have to do your research. Your other option is to also rent a car. So because we were in a large group of 8, it didn't make sense for us to rent a car, and because we were going to be drinking, so finding a designated driver for the type of trip that we were on, which was kind of like a party trip and we didn't want to have to worry about anything, we just opted to use taxis everywhere we went. And to be honest, it did add up. It was a cost that we didn't really account for when we were planning the trip initially, because we didn't realize how many times we would end up actually using a taxi. But if you are traveling in a small group, I would recommend renting a car. I saw it for about $50 for like 4 days, which is dirt cheap. You just have to worry about your gas and insurance. It's still cheaper rather than taking a taxi everywhere. But if you do opt for the taxi route, to give you an example of how much it might cost, we were staying in Tulum town. For us to take a shuttle for 8 to Tulum town all the way to Tulum Beach came out to about 1,200 pesos, which is $10 per person in Canadian dollars. If you plan on doing a lot of driving, like you want to go sightseeing outside of Tulum, maybe drive to Playa del Carmen, renting a car might be a better option for you. However, if you just plan on staying around the area in Tulum town and not going too far out of it, you might not need to rent a car necessarily, because there are other means of transportation like scooters and bikes, which are really cheap, maybe $10 a day rentals that you can find at different locations. We didn't get a chance to do the scooters or the bikes, but I really regret that. I wish we did. There was a lot of people using them, and it was definitely one of the main means of transportation for locals and for tourists as well. It's very safe to use, and I highly recommend it if you are looking for more of an adventure type trip, or you know, just looking to explore the town. It's a good way to do that, and it is affordable. There are two different kind of vacations that you can have, and it depends on the type of vacation you are looking for. And there's the Tulum Beach, which is the more ritzy and expensive and kind of laying on the beach doing nothing kind of vacation. And then there's the Airbnb hostel kind of situation where you're up for more adventure and trying to save a little bit more money. If you do opt to stay at Tulum Beach, you are looking to spend a pretty penny, almost $500 a night for some of the boutique hotels, which are stunningly beautiful. I am not going to lie. We decided to do an Airbnb with our large group. It made sense because everybody was kind of saving money at the same time, and our Airbnb was absolutely beautiful. I had so many questions about where it was and how I can find it, so I'm gonna link it in the description box below. Our Airbnb came with 4 bedrooms. Everyone had their own bathroom. We had a shared living room, rooftop patio, and then we had a shared swimming pool with like a patio set, hammock out there. Had our own kitchen, which in turn saves you money if you decide you want to, you know, do groceries and cook. We ended up spending about $75 per person per night at the Airbnb. If you have an opportunity and you're traveling in a large group, I highly recommend the place. If you are looking for an even cheaper option, there are what's called hostels. I've never personally stayed in a hostel, but when I was doing my research, a lot of people were mentioning them. One of the more popular ones that I kept on hearing was the Weary Traveler, and to be honest, I would try it out. And if I travel with just, you know, myself and Andrew, it's very cheap. I'm not exactly sure how much, but it's cheap. It includes like a breakfast. It's a very social atmosphere to it. They have different activities at different times of the day, and it's a good place to go to meet different travelers if that is the type of vacation you are looking for. Tulum Beach has a lot of the restaurants there that are a bit more pricey. Food is absolutely amazing, but be prepared to spend your coin. One night we went out there for dinner. We were originally supposed to go to CASA Jaguar, but we went there, we looked at the menu, and we weren't really feeling it. There wasn't as much selection as we had hoped there was, so we kind of just continued walking and checked each restaurant and their menus before committing to going to one. We stumbled across Mur Mur. The menu looked great, the atmosphere was amazing, and it was literally one of my favorite meals of the trip. We ended up spending about $150 between me and Andrew. We got 2 entrees, a couple drinks, and it came out to $150. So, you know, what you would spend on a date night back home. But it was so worth it. The food was amazing. Everything was delicious. Everything was freshly cooked. And we even had our waiter or the manager or whoever explain each dish to us, which was, you know, very interesting. You got a lot of backgrounds and history of how they made it, and you get a different kind of appreciation for it. Burrito Amor, which is a cute little burrito spot right on the strip of Tulum town. Hard to miss because it's always so busy, so lively, and such a cute setup. It's outdoors, and they have some amazing breakfast burritos and very affordable. So you're looking at spending 79 pesos, which is like $5 for an amazing burrito. Taqueria Honorio, I apologize if I completely butchered that, is this local taco shop, which is so cute, like locally run, and a staple that a lot of tourists have been gravitating to because A, it is cheap, and B, it is delicious and filling. The tacos were 35 pesos, which equals out to about $2 Canadian. They open at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they do close at 3 p.m. so you got to make sure you get there by 3 p.m. Now we also went to Raw Love, which is on Tulum Beach as well. They're known for their beautiful smoothie bowls and their smoothies. They have a nice spot on the beach where you can eat, these cute little tables and chairs in the sand. If you're looking for, you know, those Instagrammable breakfast moments, this is definitely the spot. One thing that I didn't get a chance to do was try the street food. They have a lot of these, like, it's almost like back home where we have street meat and they sell hot dogs and stuff. It's a setup almost similar to that, where they sell tacos and different kind of churros, street meat, and it looks very cute. They have like tables set up in front. We didn't get a chance to actually try that. I wish that we did, but our time there was too short. But it was definitely cheap, affordable, and the food actually looked pretty amazing because there was a lot of customers there. So I mean, when there's a lot of customers, gotta count for something, right? PLAYA PARAISO, which is the most beautiful beach I have ever been to in my life. Not only picturesque The water was perfect. It was clean. There was no seaweed, which is what Tulum was kind of known for on Tulum Beach. It was getting known for a lot of seaweed and moss getting washed up on the shore. Absolutely none of that at Playa Paraiso. They have beach chairs that you can rent there for pretty cheap, pretty affordable. They have really good food at the bar. Literally the most perfect beach. The water was not too cold, not too hot. Everything about it I absolutely loved and highly recommend going there. If you don't have a good time there, you can come back and talk to me about that. Be prepared for people who are hustling out there. We had many kids come and approach us asking us to buy some of their artwork that they made, some, you know, seashell necklaces or dream catchers or sculptures that they made out of wood. I did get suckered in. There's also dancers that come and they perform like in the area, and then after they'll come around and collect money for their performances. So just be mindful of that. Bring some tips if you do want to tip them. Tulum Beach, which is pretty much what Tulum is known for and how it became such a hot spot and one of the top destinations people are talking about. So Tulum Beach is basically where they have a lot of the boutique hotels, those picturesque, like insanely architectural designs there, like just stunning, Instagrammable place. Like, it's just so beautiful. If you are looking to go to the beach, I would recommend bringing just your own towel and beach supplies in a bag and then just setting up shop wherever you want, because if you are looking to get a chair or like one of those cabanas, you are looking to pay a pretty penny. I think it was about $50 per person, and only 2 people could go like on the seats. So that's like $100 to rent one of those like big chairs that you can sit on. If that's in your budget, hey, go for it. Along Tulum Beach, there's this known spot. It's called Jungle Gym Tulum, which we actually passed by. They have like this outdoor thing that you can kind of take pictures at, do some chin-ups, do some push-ups if you're into like working out and fitness, and they had some weights there. But to actually go in and work out and use the equipment in the gym, you have to pay, I think, about $25 per person for the session. If you are into, you know, working out and health and stuff, I think it's a pretty cool experience. I personally am not there yet. Maybe the next time I go back to Mexico and I start working out, I'll want to go there. There are a lot of excursions. You just have to do your research. So one of the excursions that we did, and if you watch my vlog, I'll leave the link up here, you will have seen it. It was quite a day for us, I am not gonna lie, but we went to the excursion, which is called XEL-HA Park. It's an adventure park where you can do snorkeling, scuba diving, swimming with dolphins, riding like a bike through the trees. I don't know, they have some crazy things there. Those things that I mentioned are additional costs. The things that actually come with the package that are free, you get breakfast, you get lunch, you get unlimited drinks, you can use the bikes, you can use they have cenotes there, they have cliff diving there, they have a zip line there, they have other in-water activities that are free, they have snorkeling there that is also free. So there is a lot to do there that is free of charge within your initial admission package. But if you're into, you know, swimming with dolphins and doing the extra stuff and you have the money to spend, you can do all those other things as well, which looked actually pretty cool. Cenotes, that is what Tulum is basically known for, their beautiful cenotes. We unfortunately didn't get a chance to do that, but some people in our group who were staying longer, they actually did. They went to some of the smaller ones. Our driver did mention Tortuga cenote. It came highly recommended from our driver, who gave us a lot of recommendations on this trip, and he never steered us wrong. Shout out to you, Proto. So Tortuga cenotes. There's also the Calvera cenote, the Grand cenote, which are more the popular ones. But what I'm hearing is that you'll want to get there like 8 a.m. right when they open if you're looking to enjoy it in its peace and tranquility that it's supposed to provide you with, rather than later in the day, which is, it's filled with more tourists and it's harder to get those, you know, Instagram pictures with nobody in your picture. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to do that if you're going later in the day. Yes, we partied a lot while we were there. Tulum is very well known for their nightlife. So like I said, you have the Tulum Beach, which is more pricey. They have more of the ritzier clubs. I heard CASA Jaguar is actually very lively and very busy on Fridays. That's what I hear. And there's another local bar on Tulum Beach, which is called Ice Cream. But apparently they have free shots on Wednesdays for ladies until 12 a.m., which is like damn, like I wish we had went there, but unfortunately we were leaving on Wednesday night. So in Tulum town, there's this block party. You'll know it when you see it. It's just this strip, this kind of hidden strip that goes back, and it's just filled with clubs and bars, and you can bar hop there and go listen to live bands and listen to some good music. One of the places that we went to was BATEY, which is one of the more popular ones. It has a live band there. They're known for their mojitos. They have different flavor mojito, pineapple mojito, watermelon mojito. And then there's another spot, which I don't remember the name, but it's literally right beside BATEY, and you have to go up these like very narrow stairs, and it's actually like a rooftop. It was one of my favorite bars that we went to. They played hip hop music, old school 90s, which was great. The food was good. The drinks, their mojitos are like super sized. I could barely lift the drink. And the good thing about when you go to this like block party area in Tulum town is that you're able to take your drink outside. So if you're not feeling that bar anymore, they'll pour it in the plastic cup and you can take it to go. Another club that was very popular is CARIBE Swing. It's known for like their swings at the bar, which is, you know, there's a lot of that in Tulum. But it was very lively, more of like a nightclub, dancing. We went there a couple times. It's right on that strip. Everything is kind of within proximity of everything, so you can't miss these spots. The thing I will say though to be wary of or to be mindful of when you are in the little block area party is people there are very pushy with the drugs. They'll come up to you straight out and be like, cocaine, marijuana, like flat out asking you if that's what you want. I had about 10 people in a span of me walking to the restaurant ask me if I wanted cocaine or marijuana. So be aware of that, and you know, just tell them, no, I'm good. No thank you, no bueno. So that concludes this video, guys. I hope it was somewhat helpful to you. Like I said, I am no expert on Mexico. This was my first time, but I just wanted to make this video to help you guys out in the future if you are planning a trip to Tulum. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell so you never miss a video from me. But I really enjoyed doing this for you guys. I enjoyed my Tulum trip. Highly recommend it for anyone who is considering going there. Beautiful place to visit. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.